Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. We have our lovely Trish Rofi before she leaves us to go on her little manager journey to join us today and to show us a really great tool that I'm sure you've all seen as you've opened up some PDFs and seen this like little blue kind of S sitting off to the side, something that is automatically defaulted in our division this year. So, Trish, why don't you tell us about the lovely Orbit PDF reader?
I'm really excited about this because this is the upgrade we've been waiting for, this amazing vehicle of accessibility we have of Read and Write for Chrome. And so you may have known this as the TextHelp PDF reader. It's now just called Orbit PDF Reader. TextHelp acquired this amazing service and company. And so now we can use this in our division. And what you're going to notice is that you need to give permissions to it again. So I've gotten a few emails from people being like, what is this? I didn't install it. I don't want it. You all want it. It's amazing. And go ahead and give those permissions. It is part of that subscription that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip on over to this screen and we're just going to kind of talk about what it can do. So one of the things when we're looking at accessibility is we do want students to be able to work with PDFs. This is where I throw a caution flag on the field. No, just simply giving kids a PDF digital textbook or novel and giving them something that can read it, and then you can like brush your hands off of it and call that, you made it accessible. No, because often students that are struggling with print are also struggling with their cognition, their long-term memory, their executive functioning. There's other things that are happening that are impacting that struggle. Mm-hmm. And so I use this with what additional supports and programming are you putting in place for the students' comprehension and understanding? So you're going to notice here, I'm in my Google Classroom, our TechTok Google Classroom, as many of you have. I think we looked it up this morning and we've got like over 5,000 Google Classrooms active in our division right now. And so right now I'm looking at this digital library and I just happen to have a Harry Potter chapter 1. Now we have to remember, really important here, I need to remind people about copyright rules. We do have all our copyright rules as part of our digital textbooks, but any type of material you're putting in your Google Classroom, you're sharing with students, please make sure that you have digital license for that, or that it is already copyright free. If they happen to be a digital textbook, it can only be assigned in the Google Classroom to the child who has the identified perceptual disability that is also supported in their IPP. So it's just some of those things we have to consider. I'm not the copyright police, but I want to help us all learn and make good decisions. What will happen, because I have Orbit PDF Reader, I went through all of the permissions. I went through my extension and made sure that it was working, it was functional. Again, if you're looking for your extensions, puzzle piece, and you can scroll down and you can find Orbit Note. It'll be right beside Read and Write Chrome. You can even pin that right to your browser bar so that you always have that. But it's an automatic trigger. So as soon as I click the PDF, what it will do is it will open it up in that secondary screen. It has the PDF there, and it already has the toolbar available.
It's now, already accessible.
Large PDF takes a long time to open. So strongly recommend those chunked pieces of things just so that it opens a little bit more smoothly for students, especially if they're using Chromebooks to open this.
That's a great tip. Definitely. If you just like make it a little bit smaller. What's the chapter? What's the whatever? Make it a little bit simpler.
Exactly. So in here, you're going to see that familiarity that we have with that entire Read and Write tool set. So this is the upgraded, this is the spinning rims that we got for the PDF reader we used to have. And so in here, of course, when I get to some of those different sections, I'm just going to scroll down to where I have a little bit of print so we can play around here. I'm a Harry Potter fan. I know you are too. And so in here, we can do things like I want to be able to, of course, select and speak. So first and foremost, we know that that is one of those possibilities when we are inside any type of reading material. What's great is you notice that highlight feature, because we're still teaching students the function of reading, the function of what that looks like to go word by word, hearing those words, learning that print to speech connection. That's all in here. But one of the things I have to say that I really love in here, there is a translator feature. So we can go ahead and we can select certain words. I still have the M selected, but we can select certain words and we can have it translated into different languages. I love the screen masking tool. Oh, this
Yes.
makes a difference for kids and readability, being able to go through their text. And just keep in mind that there are actual settings for this. If you think of like Erlanger syndrome and some of those different things where the color, the background color and the mask color and the opacity, it's very different for that it's not created equal for all of us. What you see
No,
is not necessarily
absolutely.
what your student's going to see. So just know that you can go ahead and you can go into settings anytime. And that applies to all of it. This, the vocalizer, what voice are you most comfortable with? What maybe you prefer a different gender or accent or something like that. The speed is really important. I might be having a slower day today. I might need to slow down that speech to me, or maybe it's a new concept, so I need it a little slower than something perhaps that's review.
So
And of
you
course,
mean like not talking at my speed?
for me, after a couple coffees, right? Continuous speech, I have to tell you, I'm a girl who likes to turn it off. I want to only select and have read to me what I need read to me. I don't need it to read the entire thing for me. And often I find our students can get frustrated with that. So if they are, you just turn off that continuous speech and you'll be able to see that. So it's one of those really, really kind of lovely pieces that are in here. But one of the neat things that are in here is I can also use some study skills. So I can do those things like I'm going to highlight, maybe I want to like highlight a new word or phrase, or I'm going through and I'm saying, find a new vocabulary you didn't know, or find something that is descriptive to the setting. And like you can give kids those things that they want to go through and do, and they can pick those highlights. But the collect highlight feature that we love so much in Read and Write is
It's in
now
orbit.
part of this. Can you even believe it? I'm going to click that and just let it run in the background. But it's going to open up that Google Doc. It's going to already save it in your Google Drive. It's going to pull out and it's going to link it to the attachment that you collected those highlights from. So students are going to be able to really effectively study when it comes to using this tool. And then one of the other pieces I want to show is that we can actually annotate. And so I can come in here and I can annotate on my own PDF, and I can make those notes. I can make make my thinking visible and collect that. But what I love on here is talk and type is part of it.
Oh, I
I
love
can
it.
going through this, listening to it, but I can say, I really wonder if Harry Potter has any other relatives that he could have stayed with. Why did he only have to stay with these bad ones? Period. Did this family not have any other good relatives? Question mark.
That's exactly it. Or even if you're looking for evidence of like character traits, right? And so then
Yes.
you can be like, oh, right here is a great piece of evidence for that character trait because the character did this, whatever their action was or what they
100%.
said, any of those pieces. Very
Yep.
cool.
And what's great about it is, again, you can control that color. So I can make the note be able to stand out or put some different colors. Yellow probably isn't the best. I can make that stand out a little bit different. I can change that. And I even have the playback feature of what I've put in here. So there's no moment of a PDF that is no longer accessible to our students. That's
That,
what's unbelievable about this, because they have a complete study support as
mhm.
well as speech to text, text to speech. They can still be able to use things like the picture dictionary, the regular dictionary. It is absolutely all in here. And let's not forget the tool you and I love the most in Read and Write, which is the vocabulary builder. And so imagine being able to go in a beefy man. Okay, what am I going to do with that? So let me just turn off this text feature. I'm going to grab some, I'm going to highlight again. Let's grab this, a beefy man. What's that? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at another word. Oh, secret. That's a good one.
Yep.
Secret. As soon as I click that vocabulary builder, same thing. I'm doing this in a fictional novel. Imagine even doing this in some content-based literacy that has maybe some of those nonfiction print. But everything that I highlighted, it did the exact same thing where it pulled and took the word, the meaning, the symbol, and I now still have that place to make meaning about what that is. So I don't know. I can't say enough about how excited I am about Orbit Reader, because it just made accessibility even better
Absolutely.
when it comes to being able to like meet these needs for our kids. So like click
I
accept on the extension. Don't be scared and give it a
no.
try.
I really like the annotation piece, right? And like, I really actually like the fact that you can color it. So when you have questions, it could all be in red. If you're looking for specific phrases that describe the setting, then they could be in green. You could have the character traits in purple so that it's like throughout because it's not just in the beginning or one space if they have that evidence of learning or that evidence. So
100% agreed. And
very
I
cool.
think the thing that we have to remember is this is not just an assistive technology tool. This is an educational technology tool. Those type of features, those study skills, that gathering, that thought process, that's UDL, baby. That's good learning for
Absolutely.
everybody, regardless of their ability and grade level. So we hope that you give that a try. And I'm not done with these. I think we need to do a few more before I go. What do you think?
Before you go, I absolutely, and I think I'll probably pull you back in even when you are technically done.
Always a teacher, right? And always a geek.
Right, always. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing that expertise with us. And we will see you all again soon.
Bye, everybody.